and you could be booking 20 appointments easily. So you don't need a website, you don't need anything crazy. You can do it all within Facebook.
It's always like a little bit scary, but this is quite intuitive. I think if I can spend time in it, it shouldn't be that difficult. So that's like quite a nice takeaway, and it's going to be trial and error. Like from a content perspective, at least we've got ChatGPT to help. I'm pretty sure we can do some basic stuff already just to send feelers out and see. And once the algorithm sort of picks up what's good, then you can sort of replicate that, I would say, and focus on that. But it takes time. I mean, have you seen that it takes time?
Not really, yeah. You could make an ad tonight. You could make an ad tonight and start making sales tomorrow.
Wow. That's crazy.
So if you put any cards that earn you points, this is where you get clients. Okay, cool. So I'm going to create a campaign, and the goal of this campaign is leads.
Okay. So you said this platform is completely free. Yeah. But if you're running things, then you'll pay for it, or
So you don't pay for the car, you pay for the petrol. So this is actually how Facebook, which is a $1.5 trillion company, this is how they make all their money. They make money from guys like me. They make money from advertisers. So the platform is free for the user. That's when you're scrolling. And then the running ads part is where they make their money.
Yeah.
So I've created a leads campaign. And from here, I might name this, let me call it like Miguel leads campaign as an example. Mm-hmm. Now, important note here, I would always go for campaign budget. And they recommend $250 as a daily budget as a start. I think that is a decent starting rate. So let me just quickly do some numbers here. So we spoke about packages last year. I think you mentioned that one of your starting packages is about 15 a month. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, the starting package. Yeah.
Okay, so about 15 a month. So let's say that our lead cost, let's say we're getting leads for $300. And let's say that we are closing, even if we're only closing 10%, even if you're only closing 10% of leads, then that means that your CPA, which is the cost per acquisition, is 3,000 Rand. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, times 10. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So you're spending 300 Rand for a lead, close rate's 10%, and you're getting 3,000 Rand to get a customer that's worth 15,000 per month.
Sure.
And this is initially why I loved working with accountants and CFOs. I'm now working with large financial firms. But this is initially why I loved accountants, because this is obviously a monthly retainer.
Yeah.
Which means that even if you break even, you start profiting in the second month.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the numbers make a lot of sense.
So let's say worst case scenario, right? Your lead cost is $500, and your close rate is, let's say your close rate's only 5%. Okay. Then what is 500 divided by 10,000? So even if it costs you 10,000 Rand to get a customer, you're making 5,000 Rand profit in month one, 15,000 Rand profit in month two.
Yeah, so it depends on the lifetime value, but lifetime value of the client can be quite a lot more than the acquisition cost.
Absolutely. So I would say that a typical lead cost is going to be anywhere between, I'm going to give you a KPI here. Typical lead cost is going to be anywhere between $200 all the way, let me just make sure it's Rand so we can remember that, $200 to $500 is a healthy range.
Okay.
Closing rates, we're looking at anywhere between, I want to see you at 8 to 20%. And then CPA, I want to see you anywhere between 3,000 Rand to get a client all the way up to maybe around 8,000 Rand to get a client. I would say that's healthy. Those are healthy numbers.
Metrics.
And remember, this is one of your smaller packages. If you get an enterprise client under the Circle Arm. Okay.
Yeah, cook up to
So
30, 40 a month. If you get a
absolutely.
fractional
Absolutely.
CFO client.
Yeah, I mean, we've helped clients sign anywhere between, 25, 40, 65, and then the biggest one we've signed was 105 for one of our clients.
Okay.
Cool. So now that we're back here, that now makes sense, right? 250 a day. So if you'd be getting like 1 to 2 leads a day. So let's say we're starting at like 300 bucks. Okay. That's all you're doing. This is known as the campaign level. So let me just make this obvious. So I'm going to make campaign level. This over here is your ad set level. And then this over here is your ad level. Okay. So campaign level is where you set your budgets. Ad set level is where you set your targeting. Ad level is where you place the actual ad. Okay. So let's use a page here. The flow. Cool. So starting out, Meta's actually made it very, very easy for beginners. I know that you are a beginner to this, and Meta's made it very easy. And the reason that they've made it so easy is because they want people like you, a business owner, to spend money on their platform. And they know that if they can get your ads profitable in a month, you're going to be back for month 2 and month 3 and month 4. I mean, I've been running ads for years, so they've made millions. Like they've made so much money. So they want you to win. And I want you to approach it with that belief of like, these people want me to win because I will make more money, they'll make more money. Okay. So campaign level, very straightforward. That's your budget. Ad set level. This is what I mean by they've made it easy. They've made something called instant forms. And it's basically a no-code, drag and drop, easy, quick application form that's on the platform. So you don't need a website, you don't need anything crazy. You can do it all within Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So instant forms, and then maximize number of leads. And then what I like to do for scheduling is I always set the next day at midnight. Okay. Now, here's something that's really, really interesting. Is these are your audience controls, okay? For locations, you obviously want to make sure it's South Africa. If you want to do local, so let's say that you're in Johannesburg and you want to see clients in person, you could also write to Johannesburg, and that's a 40-kilometer radius. Or I can do like a 80-kilometer radius, or I could do 17-kilometer radius. And you can really get like specific with your suburb. So this is very popular for people who want to do in-person meetings. I'm not sure how big you are in person. I know that's a great way to build trust fast, though.
Yeah, I do like it. Just wary of limiting the audience if you only put like Johannesburg. But you could do Johannesburg and Pretoria. So
Yeah,
like 80K.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say you did Joburg and you did like 50Ks, and then you could also do like Pretoria
Yes.
as an example.
Yes. Okay.
And then 50Ks. And then your audience size is like over 2 million. Like you're cruising.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
It
you're
gives you
cruising.
an estimation. Wow.
Yeah, so this is your estimated audience size there.
This is
Yeah.
cool. It's like so flexible also.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's super cool, man. Super cool. Yeah. Fantastic. So that's the only like location targeting I'd play with, is if you're doing local targeting, select these guys. And then, if you're doing Cape Town, you can do that, or Durban, whatever it is, right? If you want to just do the whole of South Africa, if you're happy just doing remote, then obviously you can just leave it South Africa.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, this is basically your place. So over here, I wouldn't really touch it too much because most of your spend's going to go towards Facebook, Instagram. But an important note here. So for one of our corporate clients, they basically gave us a large budget to just blow it on testing. They were like, Ben, here's a lot of money, just blow it on testing, and we don't even need to make profit. Like just this month, test.
Research.
Yeah, just R&D, right?
Yeah.
And what we found was that if you add interests, so like for example, let me come here. So I've got the ability to actually add like interests and custom audiences and like play around. So look here, right? I could target someone who's into accounting software, and I could make sure that it's a woman, and I could make sure that they're, like 34 plus. So you can get really granular with your interests.
Yeah.
But the problem is that what you're kind of doing is you're tightening, you're constraining the algorithm's ability to find the right types of people. Like, look at my estimated audience size now. It's gone down to like 40,000. Okay. So what I recommend is actually leaving these as broad as possible, leaving it completely open. Remember, the platform wants to make you money. So you might be thinking, okay, but Ben, if you're leaving this all broad, how do you target the right people? You might be thinking that, right? Like, okay, but now Ben, like, if I want to go after people who are struggling with, tax, or if I'm trying to go after doctors or engineers, or if I'm trying to go after construction companies, how do I get the people that I'm after? And the way that you do that is all in the content. So if I make an ad and I say, are you a construction company and you're struggling with writing off your construction vehicles? What's going to happen is Meta is going to show that ad to 1,000 people. And it's going to see that for some reason in its algorithm, it's got some construction workers or construction companies that are paying 1 second more attention to that video than everyone else. And it's going to slowly start distributing to that audience and building a buyer profile. So all of your targeting is done at the creative level.
Okay.
And it's
at the ad level, so you don't have any like filters and specifics here.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you how we create filters. Filters is a different story. That's a good question though. Yeah. So at this level, all I'm doing is instant forms, maximize number of leads. I'm setting it for the following day at midnight, so it's got a full day to run. And then I'm playing with the location. If I want to do local targeting, I'll set a city and a radius. If I'm happy just doing the whole of South Africa, I'll just leave it South Africa. Cool. So now we're going to go to the ad level. Few important points here. So number one is this is going to obviously be through your Facebook page. So if you're running it, this is kind of like the mask or the skin, right? The wrap. Think of it like a wrap on a car.
Yeah.
So you can have a car and you can have like 5 different wraps over a year if you wanted to. But I recommend that you keep one Facebook page so you can build a brand over time. So for your company, you would obviously have a business Facebook page, and that would be the face of the ads. Okay. Very important. This guy needs to be ticked off. Okay. This guy needs to be ticked off. Please make sure. It's on by default, but I've spoken to so many people and they're like, always, just turn that off. I don't entirely know what it does. But I think it plays around with like the cropping of your ad and it becomes messy. Cool. Before we continue to the exciting stuff, this is like my most favorite part. Is there any questions you have so far?
No, I think it's fine. I think everything I've asked you've addressed, and it looks pretty intuitive. Like it's quite neat.
Awesome. So we're going to start taking a look now at where 80% of your results are going to come from, which is the ads and the friction. Because you mentioned the word friction or like qualification. Like, how do we do that?
Criteria.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. So we're going to create a form. Okay, so I just I went here and I click create form. And let's name this form Miguel lead form. Okay. So this is that form, and as you can see, you can also preview it here on the right. It's really nice. So you can preview like all the steps and like how it would look for the customer. So I'm going to go for higher intent and require leads to verify their phone number with a one-time password.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. So all those phone numbers that are coming through are legit. You're not getting spam. Okay. For intro, I might just say like, get an updated, accounting quote for your business. And then over here, I might just say like, 10 plus years of experience in multiple industries, 100 plus happy clients. So I might just write like, you kind of just selling yourself here, right?
Yeah.
So just selling yourself. But then we get to questions. And this is where it gets freaking awesome. Okay. So let me just like show you how it works. And then I'm going to explain the psychology behind this. So we are selecting conditional logic. What this means is that if people select certain answers we don't want, we can prevent them from submitting the form.
Okay.
So let's add a question. Multiple choice, short answer. So multiple choice. What's question one? Do you own a business in South Africa? Yes, no. And then I can have no, close the form.
Oh, yes, I've seen. Okay.
And then I can have,
yeah.
and then I can have this one go to the next question. So next question, are you VAT registered? Yes, no. I can come back here. I can have the answer yes, or if they own a business, go to are you VAT registered? And this one, I can have it close the form. Now we're over here. So I'm going to add another question, multiple choice, or let's actually do like a short answer. So I might ask, what industry or sector are you in? Minimum characters, I might do like 5, and maximum characters, I'm going to get 1,000. Okay. And then I'm going to go back here and connect it. So if they say they are VAT registered, they can go to the next question. If they're not VAT registered, closes the form. And you're being very sneaky with the questions that you're asking, right? You want to make sure that these questions actually are building a profile of who you are. So a great question. And I'll actually I'm going to pull up a client that we actually recently offboarded last week and show you an example of some of the questions that we were asking. Because another question that we were asking was, what is your current accounting spend? Okay, so let me share this here, right? So we were collecting name, email, cell phone, company name, industry was farming. Are they VAT registered? Their current accounting spend is like 3,000 to 8,000, and that's the range they gave us.
No, that's a good one.
And then who's managing your accounts? Outsourced accountants. That's a really good one to ask.
Yes,
because if it's an outsourced accountant, there's generally less like how do I say, like less drama.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's an in-house,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like in-house, you'll probably need to fire them, whatever. It's a lot more.
yeah. It's a bit more like friction, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's also show like this one here. So this current challenge, their accountants not taking charge, not communicating, not keeping up to date, and they're in e-commerce. This one over here, spending 15 to 30,000 a month, and they're in engineering and construction. This one over here, spending over 30,000 Rand a month, and it looks like they are a factory. So that's like that's a CFO opportunity. So you're collecting this information, and then here as well, this was a tractor spares company. They said their accountant's not reliable, outsourced 8 to 15 a month. Okay. So now let's go back here. So we've asked, do you own a business in South Africa? Are you VAT registered? What industry are you in? And then this would go to the next question. Let's make the next question, who is currently managing your accounting? Okay. And then here I might say in-house accountants. I might say myself. Outsourced accountants. What's another option?
None.
None.
It's like startups. None.
None. SARS is after me. Something like that. Cool. Okay. So that's how you set up your questions. So you've got multiple choice and you've got short answer. I do recommend you obviously, when you're doing multiple choice, include answers that you don't want.
Yes.
Because what some people will do is they'll be like, what is your budget for accounting? 50,000 Rand a month, 100,000 Rand a month, 20,000 Rand a month. And they won't include it's only 3,000 Rand a month.
Yes.
You want to include the things that you're not after.
That makes sense.
So that if they select those options, you close the form.
Yeah, it's not a good lead then, basically.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to push away.
Absolutely. But that's not just the only thing there. Imagine you had a bakery and you ran ads for your bakery. And you, for some reason, your ads just was like resonating with Italian dads. Like you got 100 Italian dads to just be like, whoa, this bakery's the best. Like that's my spot. Okay. What's going to happen is you've trained Facebook that when an Italian dad comes through your funnel, it counts as a conversion. So it gives a dog a treat because it works like training an animal. So it gives a dog a treat. And every time you give Facebook a treat by saying that's a conversion, that's a conversion, that's a conversion, that's a conversion, you're building a buyer profile.
Mhm.
So now what Facebook's going to do is it's going to look at those 100 Italian dads and it's going to say, he wants Italian dads, let's get him more of them.
Yes. Okay.
So what we're doing when we're filtering is we're training who it is that we want. And this is how we get companies that are just doing like 5 million a year, 10 million a year, 20 million a year, 50 million a year. Because everyone who's not VAT registered, everyone who is under a certain employee count, everyone who is at like a certain level of skill set, like they just get denied. So then we're saying, we don't want them, we don't want them, we don't want them, we don't want them. So then it's like, okay, but who do you want, Ben? And then it finds who we want, and then it just goes after them. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Makes a
Okay.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Then over here, we've got our contact information. So over here, we're collecting email, full name, phone number, and then I would recommend work information, adding their company. It can be useful, especially for just being prepared and being like, hey, Alex, I see that you filled out our form and that you're from Plumbers Incorporated. I checked out your website, looks awesome. I'd love to just share a bit more about what caught your interest from the ad, like what the problem is. Because on your form, it says that your accounting team is currently like not reporting VAT, or they're late on filing, or be getting hit with penalties. So having that company name also is a great way to do a bit of background on them before you reach out.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Awesome. Privacy policy. It's interesting, but it's optional. So you don't actually need to. If you want to be like 1,000,000% compliant, you can obviously add a link to a privacy policy. Okay. But for small businesses, I wouldn't say it's really an issue. For all the corporate clients, we do like a pop-here full privacy policy. But if you're a small business, I really don't think it's necessary. Cool. And then ending. So these are ending pages. So remember, we've got two endings. We've got an ending for someone that we like and an ending for the people that didn't make it. Okay. So for the people that we like, what we can do is we can send them to our website. We can have them see a PDF. Think of like a catalog or a downloadable file or like a price menu, service list. You can give them your business number, or you can connect your WhatsApp. I personally think connecting your WhatsApp is the best way to go.
Okay.
Best way to go.
Like sort of instantly.
Yeah, it's more interactive.
Okay.
You can call, you can message, you can send a file, you can ask for their email. Whereas calling a business, I mean, if they fill out your form at 10 o'clock at night, they're not going to be like, oh, let me call them,
Yeah.
And that sometimes happens. You'll get a lead at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at
Yes,
night.
yes.
So I think WhatsApp's more like call. Yeah. And then for the leads that are non-leads, I like to just send them to a website. So what's your website name?
It's www.peer, like V and V,
V.
and V investments.co.za.
Let's see if I found it. I think I found it, yeah. Is this your site? This is your site, huh? Okay, cool. Fantastic. So what I would consider doing is if I go to the contact page. Okay, you can see my screen here, hey?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. So what you could do is send the non-qualified leads, you could send them to this page.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they're like, if it's a business that just didn't make the cusp, let's say that you were like, oh, are you VAT registered? And then you send them here and they're like, hey, I'm not VAT registered, but I'm about to be in 2 months and I really want to work with you. Then they can also send in an inquiry through here. So you're not like wasting that opportunity. Okay.
Excellent.
So we like to send all except we like to basically send the non-leads to the websites as like a way to also just catch any additionals. Okay. Fantastic. Any questions on this whole like filtering process?
No, I think it makes sense. Does this come like after the ad or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be an ad and then this form will come up and then they'll fill it in if they're interested, basically.
Absolutely. So this is what it looks like on Instagram. So they would see the ad and then they would click on the call to action and it would take them to something like this. So get an updated account and quote for your business, 10 plus years of experience, multiple industries, clients. And then they'd say continue. Do you own a business in South Africa? Yes. Are you VAT registered? Yes. And then what sector are you in? Construction, let's say. Continue. And then they would fill in this information and press submit. Cool. I want to see if I can show you a live example. I think they're called Ready Accounting. Yeah.
And there's like massive corporates that use this, like Facebook, and Meta, basically for proper campaigns and stuff. And they get real traction.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like other than Google and Meta, like they're $1 trillion companies, man.
I never thought that like Meta would be such a big. I knew that's their like major revenues ads.
Yeah.
Just didn't think about it like that. I mean, we use Google mostly.
No,
Google's
good.
Yeah.
Google's good.
But it's
and LinkedIn. Yeah, it is expensive.
Yeah.
Google is expensive. LinkedIn's also really good. LinkedIn ads.
Okay.
But the only problem with LinkedIn, here's the problem, is that LinkedIn has got a lot more professionals on it.
Yeah.
But where are those professionals spending their time? Are they scrolling on LinkedIn 4 hours a night? Or are they on Instagram or Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the other one is YouTube. So YouTube's
Oh,
good,
yes.
Google's good.
Yeah.
And the best way to go about running ads is also to just be posting organic content. Like they work together here. They really work together. But this is an example of, I'm actually quite surprised they're running Afrikaans ads. They used to run English ads.
Oh,
I don't know if that's like for racist reasons.
they target market.
I was teasing
As
it.
jy 'n besigheid hier in Suid-Afrika bedryf,
But this
trek
is
jy op almal
that.
te hard om te stres oor administrasie, om fakture te jaag, strokies in te dien. Niks daarvan bring inkomste in nie, maar dit steel steeds ure van jou week. By Ready Accounting neem ons dit alles van jou bord af. Ons is 'n cloud-based rekeningkundige firma wat vir jou weeklikse ondersteuning bied. Sodat jy nie
These guys are doing well. Like, I was just
Really?
getting hit by their ads, and I spoke to them last year. But Ready Accounting. So now what happens is if I click learn more, it takes me to their landing page. You see, so they're running ads and it takes you to their landing page. They've got like a video on like tax, they've got their reviews, they've got their packages, and then schedule free consultation. And then it's also like a form, you see, external bookkeeper,
Yes.
staff member. So let's say myself, amount of hours, 5 to 10, how soon, within a month. Yes, I'm a decision maker. Software, Zero, QuickBooks, manual, Excel, budgets. You see,
Well, it's
so that's yeah.
bookkeeping stuff.
Yeah, no, this is for like small companies. I imagine the average company is probably doing like 30,000 to like 100,000 turnover, like below that registered.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's go back here. So that's how you create your form. And then obviously I just want to make sure that these are all linked. So this would go to question. So you want to obviously make sure that the logic is all connected. So question 2 is connected to question 3, question 3, question 4. And then description is how you would collect the contact information. But I'm going to just close this guy. Okay? And I want to now show you how do you upload an ad. So that's how you do your form, right? That's how you actually create friction. Then for lead delivery, what's great is that you can connect it directly to Google Sheets. So every time a submission comes through, you can send it to like a V&V CRM sheet
Yes.
that you and your admin and your wife and everyone can have access to, so that you can see when new leads come through and you've got all their details. Okay.
Nice.
Now set up creative, image, video. I'm going to go for image, and let's upload this awesome picture over here. There we go. That's my girlfriend and a horse. And you want to make sure that the cropping is all nice. And then you've got your text. So this is your text that's going to be on the ad. Okay. For call to action, I always recommend using Learn More. Learn More is the calmest, highest converting call to action. Sign up, apply now, get quote. That's what everyone uses. It does not work as well as Learn More. Like get quote, sign up, apply now. It's too harsh of a transition from a stranger. So Learn More we found works very well. For primary text, I would simply speak to who it is that you're after. So business owners, are you tired of late submissions and VAT penalties? Or if I'm speaking to like bigger clients, I might say like factory owners, is working capital an issue? Let us assess your cash flow, income, and expenses and give you an updated accounting quote from an expert. Something like that, right? So with your primary text, your headline description, I would simply just go into GPT, tell ChatGPT who it is that you're after. So, hey, ChatGPT, I run a company called V&V Investments. We work with these types of clients. I need your help writing a primary text, a headline, and a description for Meta ads. And it will give you a really good output. Very simple output. Okay. now I'm just gonna write test.
I was thinking that I'll probably need to use that.
Yeah. And then
Base.
this
Yeah.
is enhancements. I would recommend leaving all of these off, except add music is fine. If you're running an image, you can just add music. That's cool. But all of these are just a little bit they're funky. I wouldn't play with these, to be honest. Fantastic. Cool.
And like from a content perspective, like is there any specifics or sort of key things between even like the mix between videos and pictures? Like do you guys focus probably more on videos and that type of content? And
Really great question. Really great question. So before we get there, I just want to do a little bit of a recap. So campaign levels where you set your budget. Ad set level is where we set our date, location, targeting, and then where we're sending them to, instant forms. You can do to your website, but I'd recommend instant forms. Ad level, we're leaving this guy unchecked, creating our form, and then we're adding our ad, and we're sending leads to Google Sheets. Very simple. Okay. And then you're doing your primary text, your headline and description. Okay. But now your question about creative testing.
probably like the most important or one of the most important things. I would
Yeah.
assume.
Now, creative testing, I would say, is at least 75% of the work. Like this stuff that I showed you now is like actually easy stuff.
Yes.
So let's do an example. Okay. But before we go there, let me just think about this quickly. Cool. So what we do is we like to separate images from video. And I'll show you how to do that. So this might be ad set for images. And then in here, I've got image 1. Okay. And then I would duplicate this ad set. Cool. So I'm going to duplicate this guy. And then it's going to say ad set video. And it's going to say video 1. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So I've got my
So you've
campaign at
got
the
ad
top.
sets. Yeah.
And then I've got one ad set, 2 ad sets inside the campaign.
I the campaign.
One ad set is video, one ad set's images. Okay.
Yes. And then you'll go image 1, 2, 3, 4, like if you add more ads, and the same with the video.
Yeah. But let's get practical. Let's go to Everlytic. Let's go here. Cool. This is one of my clients. How much did they spend today on ads? Okay, they only spent a couple $100. Cool. So this is a big client. But they spend most of their money on Google Ads, to be honest. They spend a lot on Google Ads. So let's take a look. This is their ad manager. And let's just click on here, enterprise. Select that guy, ad sets, ads. So as you can see, they're running mostly image ads. So I can hover over my ad as it's live, and I can see here's like some of the images that they're running. Here as well. Here as well. To answer your question, I would go and test roughly 50% video, 50% image. Like, yeah.
Trial and error.
In all honesty, let me see if I can actually show you something. I'm gonna quickly explain to you how this freaking works because it's gonna make so much sense. Yeah. Have you ever watched Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Okay, do you know who Yondu is? The guy who's got that arrow that he can like whistle.
No.
Okay, so the guy who
Is he
I
one of
think
the
he's like,
guardians?
no, God. Okay, wait, let me share my screen. You know this guy?
Oh, yes.
He
yes,
like
yes, yes,
whistles and he's got like an arrow thing that goes.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that if you've got your CPO, which is your campaign, and let's say you're spending $20 a day, what's going to happen is you've got your ad set for video, you've got your ad set for images.
Okay.
What's going to happen is this little guy, which is the algorithm, is going to pour spend throughout all these campaigns. And it's going to begin allocating spend to whoever the winners are.
Okay.
So if you so what I'm saying is that if you test 10 ads, one of those ads is going to eat up all the spend. It's going to be a winner. If you test 50 ads, 5 of those ads are going to be winners and they're going to get the spend. If you test 200 ads, you're going to get 20 winners. So the more ads, the more ammunition, the more targets you provide this platform, the more winners you're going to have. And that's a common mistake with like a lot of people who just start out is they're like, I don't have time, or
Yeah.
I'm scared to do something wrong, or I don't know if this is in line with how I want to be perceived online. But I'm telling you now that like I would test starting out a minimum of 10 images and 10 videos. And those videos can be super simple. Just you talking to the camera, being approachable, saying, hey, if you're in this industry struggling with this pain point, I've helped people just like you. These are the services we do. This is my name. This is my company. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Like actually just being a human and realizing that social media is supposed to be social. It's not LinkedIn. It's going to get you very far. It's going to get you very, very far. But I can show you an example quickly of some of the campaigns that we ran here. CPO. Okay, these are US campaigns. Okay, these are US campaigns. That's in dollars. But let's go to PF. Okay, so this is last 30 days. Can you see that I've got images and videos split? And then this is my golden secret. And that's edu ads. What an edu ad is an ad where I'm not selling, I'm educating. And you, being a financial expert, that's your secret weapon. Is sharing micro lessons as an ad.
Yes.
About finance, about cash flow, about profitability, about payroll, about VAT, about compliance, micro lessons from your years of experience. And what happens is like, even if someone doesn't become a lead, you're putting goodwill out there.
Yeah.
And then 3 months down the line, they've seen 5 of your ads and they're like, I'm finally going to reach out to this guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So if I go into this ad and I sort by results, what you'll see, what do you notice here? One ad has gotten 21 leads. One ad's got 9, one ad's got 6, one ad's got 1, 1, 1, 1. And these ones have 0.
It's not.
And look at the spend, right? This one spent 10 cents, $0, half a dollar, half a dollar, half a dollar, $0, $0, $0. And this one's got $20, this one's got $40. So it's going to push all the resources towards the ones that are the highest.
Are winning.
Yeah. Okay. So the more you test, the more winners you're going to get. Okay. Sure, man. I want to hear what like your biggest takeaways are. I know we went over like a lot. We went over like years of
Yeah,
trial and error.
no, look, it's a lot, but it's very intuitive. I think that's the thing. Look, it's always scary for people like myself. I mean, we've got no like sales or marketing background. I mean, I've worked in finance for 10 years. Yes, I ran a finance department and got cross department like exposure. So I do know a lot of the concepts.
Yeah.
but not the detail, like the actual practical side of things. So it's always like a little bit scary. But this is quite intuitive. I think if I can spend time in it, it shouldn't be that difficult. So that's like quite a nice takeaway, and it's going to be trial and error. Like from a content perspective, at least we've got ChatGPT to help. I'm pretty sure we can do some basic stuff already, just to send feelers out and see. And once the algorithm sort of picks up what's good, then you can sort of replicate that, I would say, and focus on that. But it takes time. I mean, have you seen that it takes time?
Not really, yeah.
Or not?
You could make an ad tonight. You could make an ad tonight and start making sales tomorrow.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's the way that I think of it is your brand, VNV Investments. Okay, you've probably got a LinkedIn profile, right?
Yes, we do.
You've got a website. You've got expertise. You've got existing clients. You've got past clients. So what you've done is you've built a stack of logs.
Yeah.
Okay. And what ads is blitz. So you're sliding some blitz onto all of that stored energy that you already have. But what do we know? We know that if you light blitz and you don't have any logs, it burns out in 5 minutes. So what logs is your brand, your reputation, your expertise, your credibility. And then ads just pours paraffin and pours fuel on what you've already created in a good way.
Like that.
So
time should
you
come
could
and
win.
burn and keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And then the best way to keep stacking logs and not have it like burn out quick is educational ads. Ads where you want to make sure that if your customer doesn't buy from you, they still win. So an example of this is, let's say that I'm selling protein, like protein powder. I could run one ad and say, hey, our protein powder is 200 Rand off, buy it now and get a free shaker. Or I could say, did you know the average like 25-year-old male needs to get this amount of protein, and these are the benefits of getting protein. And if you're feeling these negative symptoms, it might be that you're low in protein. Well, we happen to actually have this specialized formula. If you'd like, you can get it. But other than that, just wanted to leave you with a bit of like education about what it is. Yeah.
I feel like that does work from what I've seen as well.
Yeah. Education.
Also less harsh. Like, and people feel like they win. Yeah.
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 So in terms of inspiration for the ads, so I've showed you like the entire back-end system, how to target, what budgets, like what KPIs, what goals you have, and how to create that blitz and how to like qualify and create friction, send them to a Google Sheet, give them a call, book a meeting. That's all done. And I've also showed you that the more ads you test, the better, because you will find winners. But in terms of inspiration, ChatGPT and just journaling with it and bouncing ideas is going to be a great starting point for you. And you can generate images within ChatGPT as well. So your image ads are not going to be a problem, but it's the video
you're allowed to
ads.
share that stuff, those images, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But now for video ads, I'm going to show you who to study. So this is like the final thing I'm going to leave you with, because this is insane. But basically, whenever you post an ad, it goes to Meta Ads Library, which means that any competitor on the planet can search you up and find your ads.
Okay.
And this is for the betterment of humanity, I promise you, because it means that we basically don't need to start from scratch. So right now, this is something you don't even need an account to look at. Like, you could just open this on a browser right now and search this up and it works. But the Meta Ads, you do need to register. But for this, you don't. So I'm on my Meta Ads library. For location, I'm selecting all. and then all ads. If you want to do South Africa, you could search a competitor in South Africa and see what they're doing. So, for example, what's like a big
Also CFO is
also
probably
CFO, but I don't even know if they run ads. Yeah, they don't because they have such a
Oh.
large referral network.
Iridium. Don't think Iridium has ads.
Is that how you spell it? It's,
Yeah, like the Element.
Iridium Business Solutions. I don't know if that's
Yes.
them.
Yes. They run ads. Okay. Hiring.
Okay, they're running a hiring ad.
Recruitment.
Yeah,
Oh.
What made me decide tell others about Iridium is
and they're
that
running
they're
this.
extremely reliable, very
Oh,
professional,
yes, I
and they
saw that.
offer it at the end of the day. So, which in addition,
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
what made me
So this is also like a brand. I think this is. Oh, it's like a testimonial.
Customer.
That's
yeah.
a client. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you who to copy. And I don't know if you know this guy. If you don't know this guy, I'm about to introduce you to Business Jesus. Okay. Are you familiar with Alex Hormozi?
No.
Sure. Thank goodness, man. Okay. Your life's about to change. This guy is 36 years old. He's worth a couple $100 million. He set the world record for fastest selling nonfiction book. He sold 2.9 million copies in 24 hours. He's the only politician
Wow.
to have sold over 1 million copies of a book in under 24 hours. He's the only non-politician in that
Wow.
world. So he set the world record. Him and his wife run a private equity firm. So
Wow.
what they do is they create purely educational content and ads. And then for companies that are above, I think, $3 million a year, they can apply to join his portfolio. But everyone below $3 million a year, the goal of his content is to help you get there.
Wow.
And yeah, him and his wife are both worth a couple $100 million. They're crazy. I think he's got like 4 or 5 million
Wow.
followers on YouTube and Instagram. And his mission is incredible. But I'm going to show you, if we just search him up here, the way that they run their ads is really cool. He has 4.3 million followers. So this guy's Business Jesus, and he's currently running over 300 ads.
Wow.
So
If you want an
let's see.
HVAC,
So this is him, and he's outside his building, just talking to the camera. And this is his headquarters in Las Vegas, and they sell like workshops and stuff as well. So I'm going to just play the video. Here he's talking to HVAC businesses. So what you'll notice is he's going to call out who he's after. He's going to say how he might be able to help them. And then he's going to say how they can reach out to him if they want help. That's the structure of an ad.
if you want an HVAC company that's doing over $1 million a year and you want to scale, then I'd like to invite you out to come to our headquarters here in Vegas to see how we scale using what we call the value acceleration method, which is just a compilation of all stuff that I've tried across all different industries. And if that sounds at all interesting, you can click below, book a call, and we'd love to potentially meet you and see you here in person.
Simple.
Very simple. But I think he can also get away with it because he's got like millions of followers and stuff. And then these are some of the image ads that he's running. So I want to just see what this image is. Okay, so these are like a whole lot of like frameworks and diagrams and stuff that he's testing. And then here's more video ads. So here's
Business owners, if your business can't run without you, you might have what we call key man risk. And if you want to scale, then you're going to have to fix it. And so my team spent 200 plus hours reviewing portfolio companies and companies we advised to figure out exactly where people got stuck at each revenue level and looked at it across function. So that means marketing, sales, CS, finance, legal, tech, ops, the whole gamut. And more importantly, not where they get stuck, but how to get unstuck at each revenue level. It's a gift. It's absolutely free. If you want that, it'll give you a customized scaling roadmap to where you're at right now and what specific actions to take. The whole thing's a gift, no strings attached. So if you want it, click, put your information in, and it'll send it to you all personalized. And yeah, it rocks. And so you should use it. That's all I got. All right, grab it and have a good year. Business owners.
super simple. Super simple. Yeah, and then he's got like some more images, videos, images. So this is like a great thing to model if you're not sure. You're committing to a very simple format of saying who you after, saying what they might be struggling with, saying how you might be able to help them, and then saying how they can get in contact with you. Very simple. So, do you run a healthcare practice? Most healthcare practices get paid 60 days after medical aid. I'm an accountant. I've specialized with healthcare practices, and we build cash flow maps to help you plan your cash so that medical aids don't mess with your profitability. If you would like to hear more about how we might be able to help you, you can book in a call, you can submit the application, you can send me an SMS, you can WhatsApp me, whatever the call to action is. It's a very simple process.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh,
Cool,
that's
man.
great.
Yeah, so that's like a great like framework to kind of start off on.
Yes.
I would highly recommend, if you ever want to grow your business even more, I would highly recommend you check out this guy's books as well. It's insane. I mean, this one's got 30,000, 4.9 stars, 4.9 stars, 4.9 stars. Yeah, it's insane. Like, this guy's books are so, I mean, look at the price. It's all 0,000. These books are all free and small because he makes money from private equity. So you can dish out everything without having to charge people.
Well, that's cool. I'm definitely going to look at him. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, man. Cool. Biggest takeaway as we wrap up.
Follow Alex.
Yeah, I've learned a lot
Cool.
from him, man.
That's more than just business. I mean, life
Yeah.
as well, probably. He's very successful. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
him and his wife, they started their first company together. Their books, yeah, he talks about like all of his freaking failures. Like, they have had
Yes.
ridiculous amounts of failures, and it's crazy to hear some of the stuff they've been through. And there was a time where he had to move back into her parents' house,
Yeah.
and that's rough. That's rough. There was
That's
times where they were like down $100,000, bad business partners, like refunds.
Wow.
They've got an incredible story.
And
But learned a lot from him. Learned a lot from him on how to create offers, how to market your
Yeah.
business, how to get leads, and then also cash flow and managing cash flow and profitability and reinvesting in your business. Okay. What are your action items for this
Yes.
first of 2026? Where do you want to be by the end of March?
Sure. We've got some targets that we've set internally in terms of number of clients, or it's actually more split to recurring revenue and projects that we want to focus on. So we've sort of built a little bit of that roadmap. It's like pretty high level still, but that's what we're tracking against, sort of our KPIs. So hopefully we can be on track after March. But the focus is signing deals. I think that's the key focus for us this year. And we ended well last year doing one big project that carried us through
Nice.
until the end of the year. So we've sort of in a position now where I feel like we can focus on getting more. You know, there's sort of been a little bit of traction. We've got a very good client. So there's scope now to grow. That's sort of the focus. I think this year is a defining year for us. Like, we need to, it's not going to be a like financial year, but it's going to be a setup.
Planting
year.
seeds.
That's what I think 2026 is. We're going to work.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're going to work towards. And if we play the long game, I'm sure in a year, next year, and a year after,
Absolutely.
and then
Yeah, because you're stacking logs.
yes,
Stacking logs.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And I just want to hear, in terms of like appointments per week, clients per week, or on like per month, I just want to hear like, what would success look like for you? Like, would you like to see yourself, taking 10 appointments a week, 20 appointments a week? What would success
Yeah,
look like?
10 appointments a week would be great. I think if we could sign, we've got a recurring revenue number that we need to get to. And I think it's probably 10 to 12 clients. So we could do one client a month, one new client a month, and also
upsell with the current clients, then we'll get to the target that we've set. So
Okay.
we can work on 10 appointments. 10 appointments a week. Is fantastic. Like even if we could do 20 a month, like 5 a week, sign 1 at least, I think that will be great.
Awesome.
1 to 2.
So if you're spending, I would say, geez, even if you're only spending, let me just work. Oh, just pro tip before I forget, there's VAT on ad spend. So if you set your budget to 1,000 Rand a day, it's actually 1,150 Rand a day. Don't make
fine.
the same mistake. It's really
It's fine.
like there was a day where my card just bled dry because I was spending like a couple $1,000 a day, and I was like, "What happened?" Okay, so if you're spending, let's say, $400 a day times 30, 12 grand a month. Geez, I think anywhere between 10 to 12 grand a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see you getting appointments for like $400.
Yes. Okay.
So 20,
that'll be
so
around
20
there.
appointments is $8,000 plus that is $9,000.
Okay.
So you could even start as small as just spending the rest of this month like filming some content, making some images, doing some research, doing some homework, and then sometime in Feb or even March, like just commit that first like 5 to 10 grand and just like start learning the process. It's game changing.
Yeah. That sounds
Awesome.
good. But we've got we basically put 20K aside as the initial sort of budget. So that should be good. Yeah. So for like 2 months, 2.5 months, we could probably run and see where we go.
Yeah. So even if you start like 1 month with $300 a day, it's like 10 grand, including that. 10 grand, you got to get like at least 20 appointments.
Yes.
You can also run ads straight to Calendly if you'd like as well. Then it
Okay.
can go straight to your calendar.
Okay.
And then on Calendly, you can also ask like filtered questions and stuff. Awesome. I'm wishing you the absolute best for 2026, man. It's been really great chatting. Really thankful for your time.
Yeah,
And-
thanks for your time, and this
Yeah.
wasn't actually needed, so I really appreciate it that you took out an hour to go through this. It was really, really useful. So
Yeah.
I'm also going to send it to my wife, so
Cool.
she also wants to have a look. So super useful. So really thanks, yeah, and hopefully 2026 is an awesome year for you as well. Optimistic,
Absolutely.
positive. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep grinding.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You have a good eve. Enjoy your time with family. I'm going to go make some dinner. But
Thanks, man.
thank you. All the best, man. I'm
Sure.
going to send you the recording now.
Yes, please. Thanks,
Cool.
Benjamin.
Ciao, brother.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.